Welcome back to Study the Summa and the Summa Academy. We're going through the Summa Theologia one question at a time. We're up to 117 of Secunda Secundae. It is on liberality, and oftentimes, especially in American political culture, liberalism gets kind of a bad name because you think of liberals as, left-leaning politically, but liberality is actually a virtue, as Thomas will explain in this video. And I just want to, before we get to that, mention the fact that there's a whole lot of questions in the Summa on the cardinal virtue of justice. In fact, it's a huge section, as you know if you've been following this. So why is that the case? Well, justice has to do with giving to the other what is due to him. And of all the visible creatures in the world, it's the human being that is most like unto God of anything that we encounter, more so than the beautiful sunset or your pet dog or really anything other than the Blessed Sacrament. Nothing gets as close to God among the things that we can, that are sensible to us, that we can touch or taste or see. So it's very important that we get this right, because when we're dealing with a human person, it's such a noble and esteemed creature that the way that we treat each other is extremely important. And liberality is one of those very important virtues that's going to have to do with how we spend our money and whether we hold on to it covetously or whether we let go of it. And that's really what this whole coveted liberality is going to be about. So it is question 117, and there are 6 articles. They're very short. The explanations, these corpus, or the corpus section of these tends to be relatively short, so I don't think this is going to take too long. The first question is whether liberality is a virtue. When you think of liberality, the word that may come to your mind is liberty, which is going to come up in these explanations, interestingly, as we'll see here in just a moment. So he says, Augustine says, it belongs to virtue to use well the things that we can use ill. So those things that we could use ill, like money or possessions, if we use them well, then it's a virtue. Now, we may use both well and ill, not only the things that are within us, such as the powers and the passions of the soul, but also those things that are without, such as the things of this world that are granted to us in our livelihood. Wherefore, since it belongs to liberality to use things well, it follows that liberality is a virtue. Okay, short and sweet on that one. Is it about money? And again, he quotes the philosopher saying, it belongs to the liberal man to part with things. Hence, liberality is called open-handedness, because that which it is open does not withhold things, but parts with them. The term liberality seems also to allude to this, since when a man quits a hold of things, he frees it. Okay, so there's that liberality, all right? We're freeing the thing that we're holding on to so that we're not possessing it covetously, but we're letting it go from his keeping and ownership, and shows his mind to be free of attachment thereto. Now, those things which are the subject of a man's free-handedness towards others are the goods that he possesses, which are denoted by the term money. Therefore, the proper matter of liberality is going to be money. Article 3 says whether using money is an act of liberality. Okay, the use of money, the species of an act is taken from its object. Now, the object of matter or matter of liberality is money and whatever has a money value. And since every virtue is consistent with its object, it follows that since liberality is a virtue, its act is consistent with money. Now, money comes under the head of useful goods, since all external goods are directed to man's use. Hence, the proper act of liberality is making use of money or riches. All right, we can all relate to this. This is very practical. How do we use our money? Do we hold on to it? Do we save it? Do we store it? Do we give it away? Some combination of all those, probably most likely. All right, Article 4, whether it belongs to a liberal man chiefly to give. It is proper to a liberal man to use money. Now, the use of money consists in parting with it, For the acquisition of money is like generation rather than use, while the keeping of money, insofar as it is directed to facilitate the use of money, is like a habit. Now, in parting with a thing, for instance, when we throw something, the farther we put it away, the greater the force is employed. Hence, parting with money by giving it to others proceeds from a greater virtue than when we spend it on ourselves. Okay, we throw it farther away, greater force. But it is proper to a virtue as such to tend to what is more perfect, since virtue is a kind of perfection. Therefore, a liberal man is praised chiefly for giving. Now, think about perfection. You might instantly think, whoa, you know what? That's the second attribute of God. Okay, simplicity, perfection, goodness, infinity. So perfection is we become more perfect as we become more virtuous. All right, the virtues make man good. Article 5, whether liberality is a part of justice. Liberality is not a species of justice, since justice pays another what is his, whereas liberality gives another what is one's own. There are, however, 2 points in which it agrees with justice. First, that it is directed chiefly to another, as justice is directed to another. Secondly, that it is concerned with external things, and so is justice, albeit under a different aspect. Hence it is that liberality is reckoned by some to be a part of justice, being annexed thereto as a principal virtue. All right, so it's a very important virtue. The sixth one and final question really cracks me up because Thomas asks this all the time. It almost like kind of annoys me a little bit because he's already stated that the greatest of the virtues are faith, hope, and charity, and the greatest of all the virtues is charity. You should know that if you've been following these videos. So to keep asking whether this is the greatest of the virtues or that is the greatest of the virtues, well, it doesn't make sense because he's already told us that charity is the greatest of the virtues. It's not even close. But nonetheless, he asks, is liberality the greatest of all the virtues? Well, you know the answer is going to be no. Every virtue tends towards a good. Wherefore, the greater virtue is that which tends toward the greater good. Now, liberality tends toward a good in 2 ways. In one way, primarily and of its own nature. In another way, consequently. Primarily and of its very nature, it tends to set in order one's affection toward the possession and use of money. All right, so how do we treat money? Do we hold on to it or do we let it go? All right, that has to do with liberality. In this way, temperance, which moderates desires and pleasures relating to one's own body, takes precedence over liberality, as do fortitude and justice, which in a manner are directed to the common good, one in a time of peace, the other in a time of war. While all these are preceded by those virtues which are directed to the divine good. Now, this is a reference to faith, hope, and charity, the object of which is the divine good, God himself, right? So, again, those are going to be the 3 highest virtues. For the divine good surpasses all manner of human good, and among human good, the public good surpasses the good of the individual. So what he's doing, and I know why Thomas asked this, because he likes to remind everybody about order. Okay, things are ordered. Public good more important than the private good. That's why justice is more important than temperance. Temperance is just about me. Justice is about the common good. And and of the last named, the good of the body surpasses those goods that consist in external things. Remember, the good of the soul is tops, then the body, and then external things. Again, there is order, and I think that's why he keeps reminding us of these things. Again, liberality is ordained to a good consequently, and in this way it is directed to all the aforesaid goods. For by reason of his not being a lover of money, it follows that a man readily makes use of it, whether for himself, or for the good of others, or for God's glory. Thus it derives a certain excellence from being useful in many ways. Since, however, we should judge of things according to that which is competent to them primarily and in respect of their nature, rather than according to that which pertains to them consequently, it remains to be said that liberality is not the greatest of the virtues. Okay, so kind of a long way in getting to that, but nonetheless, it's nice to be reminded of this structure, this order. And again, Thomas is a very, very ordered person. So that will do it for the 6 articles on liberality. Hopefully you learned something. And don't forget, this is the Summa Academy, where we are teaching everybody who will listen to us the teachings of St. Thomas Aquinas from the Summa Theologia, one question at a time. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. God bless you.